friends, we're on day 24 of our 31 Days of Horror Movie Villains, and today we're going to talk about Carrie White. Now, I personally don't think Carrie White is a villain. I think she's just someone who has had to endure a lot of torment that just eventually snaps. So at the beginning of the movie, we see her in gym class, people are bullying her, then we see her in the locker room, and while she's taking a shower, she sees something red, and she doesn't understand what's going on. She doesn't know anything about menstruation, so she automatically thinks something terrible is happening to her. She reaches out to her classmates for comfort, but everyone just starts laughing at her. The gym teacher comes out, and she's very confused by what's going on, so she starts to comfort Carrie. But before that, we see a light bulb in the shower explode. That's our first indication that Carrie has telekinetic powers. So we see her later in the principal's office. He keeps calling her the wrong name. Eventually she flips the ashtray over. You see her walking home from school and this little boy's making fun of her and she knocks him over his bike. So it seems like she has a lot of power, but it seems to come out when she's upset. She goes home and we're introduced to her mother. Margaret White is a terrifying individual. She is a religious fanatic that sees sin in everything. And she's very cold and rude and cruel to Carrie. She locks her in this closet with a bunch of religious paraphernalia on the walls and keeps her there for a while. And we learn that Carrie gets locked in this closet quite frequently. Later on at school, we see Sue, one of the girls that was in the locker room. She feels really bad about what happened to Carrie, so she convinces her boyfriend, Tommy, to ask her to prom. So he asks Carrie White to prom. Carrie's completely thrown off by this because no boy has ever shown her any attention. She eventually agrees to go to prom, but she's very afraid of telling her mother because she knows her mother will not approve. We see Carrie, she makes her own prom dress, she's very excited, and she starts learning more and more about her own powers. We see several moments where Carrie starts to stand up to her mothers, and I think Carrie's starting to realize, I am becoming a woman, I need to stand up for myself. So we see Carrie get ready for prom. Her mom is completely unsupportive, and she leaves with Tom. When Carrie arrives to prom, people are actually kind of nice to her. Tommy lets her know how beautiful she is. We see her laugh for the first time, but we see in the background that some of the mean girls at school are planning something terrible. And that the meanest girl who got kicked out of prom, she rigs the prom voting so that Carrie White wins prom queen, and she has a special plan for when she stands on that stage. So we see Carrie and Tommy win prom queen and prom king, and they go on stage, and Carrie is so happy. Unfortunately, a bucket of pig's blood falls on her and ruins her dress, humiliates her, and she's standing there in shock. And then the voice of her mother's, it's really loud in her head, they're all gonna laugh at you. And as she's looking around the room, she sees everyone laughing at her. And so something just snaps, and she starts her reign of terror on the school. We saw the hose blasting people. We see electrical wires going all over the place. We see that the popular girl and her boyfriend have gotten out of the school, but don't worry, Carrie catches up with them and ends them as well. And she goes home. Carrie's afraid of what she's coming home to because her mother is so unpredictable. She approaches her mother for some comfort because she just went through something incredibly traumatic, and her mother starts praying over her, but then she pulls out a knife. Carrie falls down the stairs, and she looks up, and Margaret is approaching her like this, and so she lets Carrie know when she was pregnant with her, she even knew then that Carrie was evil and all this stuff, but Carrie stops her with her telekinesis, and the house starts falling around them, and they get buried in the house. Carrie White is such a tragic figure. She's so sweet, and she's been through so much. People are so cruel to her, including her own mother. No one shows her any sort of kindness or love in her life, and finally when things are starting to look up, everything hits the fan.